Travel in the younger sort, a part of education. In the elder, a part of experience. By Francis Bacon. Hello, my name is Montana Murphy, and I am here today to bring you along with me through my journey of experience, and to show you why educating yourself about your world is so valuable. Not just that, but as well as why it is considered such a gift. So I hope you enjoy. There are many different types of people in this world, each unique and each with their own abilities to influence themselves, possibly even their community. As we grow up, we don't stay trapped in a box for long. We eventually move out of it and into a place that can increase the understanding of who we are and how the society that we live in works. The places you have learned about have only been written on a sheet of paper, put on an image so you can imagine what it's like to be in that one place. That one place. But what would it be like to be in multiple places in that environment? To actually put your hand in the soil and experience that moment of understanding of what it's like to be there? Well, that's why I'm here, to tell you why it is so important to travel and to learn about our differences. Not just our differences, but who we are as ourselves. I confess that I have only been out of the country once, which was to Guatemala and Belize. I saw some amazing objects and places that are very unlike the objects and things you would find in America. Also, I'm going out of the country again in the summertime, but this time to Europe. I've also been to quite a few states in America, so even though I've only been, well, compared to the world, a few places, I'm still up here on stage with you, talking about this huge topic that I don't have a lot of experience with. When you travel, not only do you see new cultures and people, you see different foods, trees, animals, architecture. The list can go on and on and on. Those things that you learn matter, so it is important to pay attention to them. Though, why do they matter? It matters because you can use what you learned and create an amazing thing out of it, or a fantastic idea that can help improve your society. This can also increase the understanding of your world, allowing you to offer many things to your society. You travel across the bluest skies. The plane you're on drifts through the air, and then you become the passenger on a boat whose road lies right before you, leading you to where your journey begins. The smallest glimpse out the window in a car can cause something in your brain to remember what you just did. It doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter who you meet, because you're still going to learn about your world when you go somewhere. Something about anything you didn't know, or something about yourself. Even if it's your first day in a new community, or your first day at a new school, you're still creating a new path for you to follow as you go along your way. In fact, the more information you know about, the more this can unlock your future and allow you to become who you want to be. It's good to learn for this reason, because it can give you a possible light bulb of where you want to go to college when you get older. There's a lot more that is added to the topic on thoughts of what you want to do when you grow up, which probably many of you already have established, but this is still a big part of traveling. And it proves that if you travel, you learn. From my experiences from traveling, you may be wondering what I learned. Well, let me just tell you, the places I went to changed my life for good, and I realized how fortunate I was. Fresh food, water, and medicine that we have in our society is nowhere near compared to the people in other countries who don't even have access to education. And if they don't even have access to education, then they probably don't even have access to fresh food, water, and medicine. This fact is true. It's true because I was able to help a medical team who provided free surgical care for cleft lips and palates. These children may not have been able to get their defects repaired if it wasn't for the medical team. Their parents couldn't even afford to get their children fixed up, which is why the medical team goes there every year. Even outside the hospital, I saw many people with disabilities begging for money and food to survive. It gave me the opportunity to see how different my society was from theirs. It took courage and a smile to help the medical team because it was sad to see that these kids had these disabilities. I also had to be motivated. I had to set this as one of my goals on my trip, which I encourage you to do too. If you don't motivate yourself to learn or to do anything, then it won't happen. Also, in environments like the one I was at, you learn more than just to help people, but you learn to care for them and support them as best you can. Many times, we don't understand how each of us works and why we or our cultures are so unalike. Then, we only become used to our own environment. Well, in one place, something you consider pretty could be considered ugly in another, or something you consider respectful could be very, very disrespectful in the other. It shows the importance of tolerance, diversity, and the importance of being mindful of another culture's ways. We are all so unalike that we have a massive opinion on one another, which can hurt or cause one society to hate the other. It's sad that this happens, but it does. If we could all learn to accept diversity and know that it's okay to be different, then this probably wouldn't happen. This is another reason why traveling is so important, because it educates us about the unknown and teaches us to welcome, accept, and be aware of people's differences. Mostly we travel because everything is fascinating. For example, when I went to Guatemala, I saw some famous Mayan temples, creepy bugs, and beautiful animals. It puts you in the momentum of learning, which is a good thing. For another example, about the mysteries that are located in the deep ocean or the dry desert, and the species we are very clueless about. When you come back from a trip, you don't notice, but you can come back a different person. If you travel a lot, then it's possible you don't notice this change as much because you have already learned to accept people's differences and you already understand how to. You change because you learn how different your community is to all others, and you begin to understand why. These are the reasons why I encourage you to travel more, along with myself, so that we learn about these things we are very clueless about, and to eventually get the gist of them so that we will understand. Also, instead of fighting one another, we can accept one another. It is always important to learn about the world, the unknown, the differences it beholds. So for now, remember that traveling is the road that starts us on our way through life that will release the gift of wisdom. Thank you.